A Call of Duty player union probably needs to happen more than ever in the Call of Duty history. If you guys have not seen this, we actually will bring to you guys a thread as well, talked about by many Call of Duty Pro players, and the potential start to a Call of Duty Pro union, which I would say is probably at a peak time right now when it comes to miscommunication between pro players, the community, the devs, Infinity Ward. I think we can all agree this game right now is not where we expect it to be, and it's incredibly broken to where we want it to be come time for the first inaugural season of the Call of Duty League. I must also note, though, with this being a possibility, I'm going to be trying to push for this. I'm very curious if it actually will come to fruition. We have seen this across other esports not really be too successful. We've seen it inside CSGO, League of Legends, Fortnite never came to fruition. We've seen it across Smite. But with this, though, I do think of all the games out there, Call of Duty is certainly one that comes to the top of the mind that likely needs a player union, more forms of contact for pro players to try and fix this game that is very, very broken. If you guys did miss it, it first started off with Pristini. He was luckily replied to by Clayster, Slasher also later getting involved. Very importantly, ending that thread with Clayster saying, all of the Empire, they're apparently in. Let's get something rolling. Let's start a player union. And if those are all the characters, if you have all of one team already, that alone is enough to get the ball rolling. Of course, then you add Slasher, of course, prominent names out there as well. If Pristini is down, I'm sure many other Call of Duty Pro players would want this. The fruition of it actually coming to be is the hard part. We have seen this time and time again, coming to actually find the right person to run it, that being like a Scott Smith from CSGO. That can be the difficult part. So I will try and do my part, put this video out there, guys. What do you think about this? Does Call of Duty need a player union to somehow twist the game, somehow help the game? I think so. Although in the past we have seen this not really do too much, because quite honestly, what I'm about to say to you guys might be a bit embarrassing. Actually brought to us by our team leader here, Smite. Smite has their own player union called the Council, and those are one of the few people I think actually have a giant impact or a substantial impact on the actual game changes for Smite. You know, a lot of people out there try and leave it to a casual players. Not many pro players can have game-changing thoughts that actually are put into the game itself. Smite's one of the few out there. League of Legends, when it comes to their council or their player union, I think a lot of that is for safety, for player safety. So other players consult other pro players, and that way they get the contracts and the salaries, etc., that they deserve. Of course, when it comes to that as well, CSGO along the same lines. They've had a few minute changes inside CSGO. Besides that, nothing too game-changing, although they do have some pretty top names inside of that, and a huge shout to Scott Smith. You know, what they have done is better than what was done before, so you really can't blame them there. When it comes time to actually making a move, though, it can be very difficult to convince that devs that, hey, us pro players, we should have a giant say in how you run your game, even though that would seemingly make sense. It doesn't happen too often, especially when it comes to a game like Fortnite. We are all well aware, if you've ever played before, Epic Games, they will do things whether you like them or you don't. They release updates on their own time, on their own note, and what they feel is best, and it's gone over. You know, obviously the game is largely successful. The updates, though, they've released have been back and forth with tons of love and tons of hate. So when it comes time for a game out there, especially now, a game that has the most miscommunication I have seen between devs, community managers, community themselves, being you and me, and pro players, Call of Duty right now is in a peak time where pro players do not feel like they have a say, and if they did have a say, I truly do think they could actually add some huge benefits. Sensor and Mike Kent from Deserto, they've talked about this. We have had countless pro players point out the countless issues currently going on inside Call of Duty. No one out there is denying this game is far from perfect, and it's going to be one of the biggest testing grounds come, you know, next year, January, February, when this league does start. It's proving time, right? This is the first cross-platform, first franchise league. It's a giant game, and it needs to prove itself to be worthy, and where we're at right now, I just think that a pro player's opinion would certainly only help the game. You guys could have different thoughts, though. What do you guys think? Final thoughts out there. Should Call of Duty have a player union where pro players have some say in what is put out there? I certainly think it's definitely something we should go for. Will it happen, though? I don't know about. Until next time, I hope you guys all enjoy breaking down Call of Duty, CSGO, esports, gaming news here every single day, all day long. Until next time, stay tuned. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon.